I'll say hello. I'm almost home, so yeah.
Okay. Well, you are recorded. You were just doing the little like
To Red
robot-y kind
Hot
of voice.
Call. This is Maya Hall.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Oh, did I need to start over?
Yeah, start over.
Okay. I'm literally about to pull into my driveway. Hey everyone, welcome to Red Hot Call. This is Maya Hall, your top pink Cadillac sales director and your Mary Kay sister all the way from Kansas City. And I am so excited to have you all here tonight as we kick off recognition and inspiration, education, and a guest speaker, a dear friend of mine, $1 million sales director Laura Middleton has brought and created for you guys a very special training from her heart. I had the privilege of meeting her in Rockwell, Texas last year on the mini top trip. And you all, I just fell in love with her. I fell in love with her presence, her calmness, her faith, her belief in this company. She grew up Pink with her national sales director as her mom, and so you guys are going to be so unbelievably blessed. And she actually just got back from her mom's wedding, so which was so cool. You guys can check that out on Facebook. Our mom is Bette Vernon. So you guys are just going to be so unbelievably blessed by her story. She did want me to tell you that she is so sorry she could not be live with us tonight, but don't underestimate the fact that what she created today, like she literally created this morning for tonight, you guys, I like wept when I heard what she had to say today. So what you guys are going to hear, I know it's going to bless you. And so I'm just going to pray over us because I know we're at the end of the day. We're at the end of the week. Lots of us who had transition at all this last 10 days in any way, form, or shape. And so I just want to pray over us as we get started, and then we'll do some recognition. So God, I just praise you for this time that we can be together. I just praise you for our family. I praise you for our leaders. I praise you for this time that we can come together. And so, God, I just pray that all of us can just remove any distractions and we can be fully present and open and available to what we're going to hear tonight. God, I would just pray that you would bless our teams, bless the women that we lead, give us the wisdom, the courage, and the insight to support them, to lead them, to serve them, to love them. God, prepare us as we are doubling our area this year. We are doubling our directors to 12 and doubling our red jackets to 20. So God, we just want to honor you and glorify you in all that we say and all that we do. So may tonight be a way that we can honor you. You are good. And in your name I pray. Amen.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So I'm going to share my screen with you for our recognition tonight. And Maya, do you want to do this part as well, or do you want me to do this part? Oh, she muted. Okay. So I guess I'm going to do this part. Okay. So we are you back? Okay. Did you want to do this, Maya, or did you want me to?
Sorry, my video or my screen keeps going black. So I'm going to let you, I don't know why it's not working. Can you guys hear me?
Okay. We can hear you.
Okay, I can see the screen. So let's go. Woo!
Okay.
Awesome. Well, we want to recognize all of our red jackets in our area. So first, let's start with the Star Team Builders. Let's say hello to Lisa Clark from the Ray unit, Angela Daughtry from the Mason unit, Angie Emery from the Huff unit, Laura Newsom from the Whole unit, and they have 3 to 4 active team members. We are going to move up to the team leader position, which is on the top right corner. These women have 5 to 7 active team members. So let's give a huge shout out to Vicki Highsmith from the Pyatt unit and Kayla Kirkman Gertz from the Smith unit. So woo! Now, as you can see, we have 2 positions open. As you all heard, this year we are focusing on doubling our red jackets from 10 to 20. So I want to encourage you all. This means that while you are in your red jacket, you can be an empowering, encouraging, and leading your team to move into their red jackets to help us build from 10 to 20. So the elite team leader, you can get there one of 2 ways. First is when you have 8 personal active team members, or you can have 5 personal active team members, and one of those personal has 3 people. So she became a red jacket. You can move to the elite team leader position. Then next, we have what we call DIQ. This is not a position. This is a qualification period when you submit to become an independent sales director. And so I would encourage you to ask yourself, where on the red career path is the best opportunity for me right now? How can I maximize this consultant career path for me in this season? But give a huge round of applause. I would encourage you to open up the chat, say hello, and what you're most excited for right now in this season of your Mary Kay business. So give yourselves a round of applause, clap, snap, wave, and be proud that you are a part of a very prestigious level in our company. All right, next we're going to recognize team production. This team production does reflect July's numbers. So number 4, Angie Emery with $231.50. Number 3, Vicki Highsmith with $580.50. Way to go. Number 2, Laura Newson with $861.50. And number 1, team production, Angie Daughtry with $1,040.75. So congratulations to our top 4 in team production. Now let's look at some commissions earned. Next, number 3, Laura Newson with $10.24. Woo! Number 2, Vicki Highsmith with $27.63. Woo woo! And then Angie Daughtry with $55.85. So congratulations to our top commission earners. Now I want to make sure you guys understand, how do you make money as a red jacket? It is important that you understand how you're making income in your Mary Kay business. So let's check out these percentages. So when you have 3 active team members, you can make a 4% commission. So congratulations to Laura Newson for making a 4% commission. You can make a 6% commission when your team members have a team production of over 1,000. Over 1,000, right? Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. Totally having a brain fart. So when you are over 1,000, you make a 6% commission. And then when you do over 1,800, it is an 8% commission. And so here's what's exciting about this, guys. Your order counts towards that. Okay. So just like Angie, I know that her order pushed her over that $1,000 level. And because of that, her commission was higher. So this is also something for you to be aware of, is what is your team's collective production, because it does increase your income as a red jacket. And now when you have 5 or 7 active team members, you automatically get 9% commission. So whoop, whoop, way to go, Vicki Highsmith, for being at the 9% commission. Now you're probably wondering, how do I get 13%? So when you have 5 women on your team place a minimum active order of $225 wholesale, $450 retail, the same month that you place a $600 order, this is how you get a 13% commission check. This is exciting. Once again, going back to tracking your team production. And so if you have a few team members who place a 150 or 175, and they're only $50 to $75 away from hitting that 225, it could dramatically change the commission check that you receive. Because as you can see, there's a 4% commission difference when your team has 5 women who place a minimum 225 order.
And look at that, there's all the details of everything.
There's all the details right there. And I would encourage you guys to take a picture of this. I want you to memorize this. I want you to understand it, because if you refuse to understand the details, you are robbing yourself of ways to make income in your business. And like I said, sometimes it's a $50 order that could go from a 4% or a 6% or a 9% commission. And you guys, that adds up. Those commissions add up. And so I would encourage you right now, take a picture of this, memorize this, track this, be aware of what is happening with your team and your personal order, because you want to learn how to track this. Because as you build your business, this is exactly what other directors and other women earning a car, they learn to do, is to track their team's production, to track their income, and it will help you grow your income. We've always learned that tracked numbers grow. So now this is a new portion of your business that you want to get in the practice of tracking. All right, so go ahead and set your alarms for our next Red Hot Call. You've noticed our new date and time is going to be the third Thursday of every month at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So the meeting ID is still the same, and you guys are in for a treat when you guys hear about our next few speakers that are coming. So make this a priority. Like I said, make it a goal to have someone on your team also be in their red jacket between now and September 15th to join this prestigious call. So we are so excited that you guys are here. And like I said, next we are going to be hearing from $1 Million Sales Director Laura Middleton. You guys, like I said, you're going to notice there's just something so captivating. But I'll also tell you this, Laura's personality was something that is something so different than what I would picture as the normal $1 Million director. And what I love about Laura's story is just how she learned to make her business her own, and that while she made it her own, she built her business alongside with her mom as well. You guys, it just shows the power of being able to build such an amazing business and also receiving such a beautiful legacy from her mom as well. And so you guys are going to be her. I'm so excited for you guys to hear from her today. So we are going to take it away. And here is Laura.
Okay, sorry, I was trying to get that resized so that it was a little bit better for you guys. Okay, so as I hit play, if you guys cannot hear this for some reason, please like wave or something like that to make sure that you guys can all hear her as she starts her video.
Hey, you guys. Oh my goodness. I am so sad not to be with you, like live with you tonight. But I am so honored to get to speak with you guys tonight. And so I'm going to start just introducing myself, giving you a little bit of backstory, and then Maya's giving me a few questions that I want to go over with you guys. And so thanks for having me, Maya. I am super excited to be on with you guys. And your Reds, I hear if you're watching this, you are a red hot jacket, you're a sales director. You guys are like the cream of the crop, the best of the best. And so I'm super excited to be getting to just be with you a little bit tonight and pour into you. I've been in Mary Kay for 17 years. I can't believe it's been that long. It doesn't even make sense. I'm not old enough for that. But I am Laura Vernon Middleton. I grew up in a Mary Kay house. I've been around it my whole entire life. My mom started when I was, I think I was 3 years old when mom started Mary Kay, and she was a teacher. She did both for a little while, and then she realized she was making way more money with Mary Kay. And as much as she loved teaching, she figured she'd just switch focus and start teaching skincare and makeup and this business to others, and make a whole lot more money, have a whole lot more flexibility. And so that's just what she did. And so I was probably in first or second grade when she went full-time with Mary Kay, and just was a rock star. She was an 8-time $1 Million sales director. She went on to become a national sales director when I was in college, and is now retired. And so you can see I grew up with a mom who really just rocked this business, loved this business. And I grew up watching her, admiring her, yes, loving the company and respecting the company, and just really wanting the lifestyle that she was providing for us and showing us that was a possibility. I wanted all that, but I grew up thinking, I'm so different from my mom. This could never be anything that I would be good at. It's never anything that I'm going to do. It's my mom's Mary Kay. And so for a long time, I admit I did not even use the products. I might have stolen a mascara off her shelf here and there, but it wasn't something that I was totally into because it was my mom's Mary Kay. And so when I was 22 years old, I had struggled with like problematic skin for a long, long time. And at 22, I finally came to my mom and I was like, okay, show me what you got. Like, let me get started on an actual skincare routine. I started with the Miracle Set. And of course, my skin radically changed. Like for the first time, my skin was clear. And I thought, wow. Number one, I wish I'd started this sooner. But two, I never imagined myself selling anything but because I love this product so much, I can see myself wanting to tell everyone about it. And so I wasn't quite ready to jump on board yet. I leased apartments so I went to school, I went to college, got a psychology degree, realized that there's very little you can do to make money with a 4-year psychology degree. And so instead of continuing on with my schooling, which is not something I was interested in at the time, nor was I interested in making minimum wage, I took a job. I moved to the beach in Florida and took a job through a friend. And I leased apartments. And for 1 year, I worked for someone else. And in this environment, I learned so much. And I think my mom sat back and watched the whole time and was like, this is what needs to happen. And she was smart. She knew that I needed to be kicked around a little bit and kind of see what else was out there, to work for someone else and to see what it's like to work for someone else. And so for that 1 year, I made great money. I worked on bonuses, but I learned things. I learned what it was like to be given a list of names and a script and to be told to call, and it's not really what I enjoyed most about the job, but it's what I did and it's what I got paid to do. And so transitioning that into being just a really good boss to myself, if I'm willing to do it for someone else, why wouldn't I be willing to do it for me? And so going back though, I did this for 1 year, and really the kicker for me was that my boss had been there for 30 years and I made more money than she, because I made the bonuses and I made the commission and she did not. And I thought to myself at 23 years old, why would I want to stick with a career where there's no room for growth? And so the other thing is, I was 23 years old, but I did not like getting up early and going into work for someone else. I wanted more flexibility. And so I may or may not have actually started my Mary Kay business at 23 because I really enjoyed sleeping in and I didn't want to work crazy early mornings or weekends for someone else. There were other things, there were other reasons, but those were the big things. One of the other things that I think is worth mentioning is that, I liked a lot of the people that I got to work with. But overall, the environment of the people that I worked with in that job, there wasn't a whole lot of positivity going on. There weren't a whole lot of people who were real happy with working there or with where they were in life. And so there was a lot of negativity. And I remember my mom, I grew up with the belief system that you become like the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And I remember thinking, even at 23 years old, this is not where I want to be in 10 years, in 15 years. This is not the lifestyle that I want. And so I really believed that I could do anything that I wanted to do. I grew up with that mindset, but I believed that I could do anything and have the lifestyle that my mother had been such a great example for. And I realized after a year that that was just not the way that it was. And so, if I really wanted the lifestyle that I had seen Mary Kay provide for her, provide for us, the unlimited flexibility, the glass ceiling, the unlimited income potential, the incredibly positive, encouraging environment that she was a part of, the friends. Oh my goodness, you guys, I just got back from this past weekend. My mom just got remarried, and the women who were there, Pam Shaw, Linda Tupin, Jan Thetford, Cindy Williams, Kathy Goff Brummett, and Sylvia Calicat, these are her friends. These are her friends. And if you could have only heard each one of them, it was so I gave my toast as the daughter, and my sister and new sisters, we all gave a toast, and then the DJ came on and said, if anybody else would like to give a toast, you're welcome to come up. And 1 or 2 people did, and then Tommy, my mom's new husband, said, now I know one of you Mary Kay girls is going to come up here, and the whole group of them came up without even a question, without a hesitation. They all came up and one by one spoke love and encouragement, and just, I can't even explain to you what I felt in those moments of just watching my mom be loved and poured into and admired, and just those friendships that's what comes from Mary Kay. And I wanted that. I grew up with those women being mentors and being, in my mom's life. And I wanted that. And so in order to have that, I had to be willing to sign up as a brand new beauty consultant. So at 23, I finally did it. I came home to my mom. I quit my other job. I came home to my mom and I said, okay, can I really do this? Number one, I'm nothing like my mom, or so I thought. Number two, most of the people that I knew were either already in my mom's unit or they were my mom's customer. And my mom at that time, she was not retired at that time. She was not close to retiring at that time. So it was not anything that she had considered to, here you go, here's a customer base, here you go, it wasn't like that at all. It was yes, I will lead you and guide you. And yes, you can do this. It does not matter. It does not take a specific cookie cutter type of person to be successful with this. You do not have to do it my way. In fact, we literally almost drove each other crazy when I started because if you know anything about personalities, like my mother is a high DI personality and I am a high SC personality. And so together, we did not always see eye to eye. In fact, I remember as a brand new beauty consultant, she just would fly through telling me what to do. Like, here's what you would say. And I'm like, I'm going to need every word. I am going to need you to say that again slower. And she's just like, just get the point, and we worked differently. And so my point in saying all of that is no matter what your personality, no matter what your background, no matter who you are, if you're like your sales director, your recruiter, your national, it does not matter. If you want this, if you believe in this company and that you can do this, oh my goodness, the sky is the limit. You can absolutely make this happen. My other point to saying that is to say, no matter where you are in life, whether you work another job and you've got tons of contacts, or you are a stay-at-home mom with a small group, a small core group of friends, there are people out there. There are more than enough people out there. There are women who are literally waiting to be asked by you. And so I promise you, there is an abundance of business around you. And so one of the questions that Maya had asked me to answer is just like, how do you find new people? How do you find leads? And so, where we are, let's see, in building my business, I'll go back because I think these things are still relevant. In building my business, I did have to kind of start fresh. I mean, yes, I had a few little niches that my mom had not gone into, like where I had worked and just quit my job. I knew people from there. So I started there. People that I had gone to college with, people who I had gone to high school with, like I went back and had some contacts there and started there. And so I always truly believe that the best place to start, or the best place, like even if you're not starting, like you guys aren't starting fresh, like some of this information might be good for your new consultants. But you're the best of the best. Like you're in your red, you're on fire. You've gotten a good start, but I still would challenge you, no matter where you are. Like this makeover contest just launched. Like we're all about this new makeover contest. And I hope you are too, because it really could radically change your business and grow your customer base and your team if you will let it, and you will work it and you will be excited about it. But let's just say you're working to get a list together of who you are going to submit in this makeover contest. Start with people you know. Look through your phone. Even after 17 years of business, I guarantee I can go through my phone and pull out a list of people, a list of friends that I've never facial before or that would be new for me. Isn't it beautiful that we work this beautiful hybrid business now, that we can be in person? Of course, that's most exciting. That's where you build the best relationships, but also we have a virtual option, and if that's what works best for you. I just moved across country. My husband and I moved across country last year. We moved from Florida to Arizona for my husband's job. And so starting fresh out here, a lot of my customers, a lot of my friends, a lot of my contacts are still back in Florida or just on the other side of the country. And so I love that we can do both. And so start with friends, go through your phone, go through your Facebook, like really go through and stop prejudging people. Stop trying to figure out. I was just talking to a consultant today and she's like, well, yeah, I've got a couple young friends that would love to be a part of this makeover contest. I'm like, yes. So you are limiting the massive amount of people that you know to these two, college girls that you think might be great. No, this contest is for everyone. This contest is for every woman that you know, whether she wears a ton of Mary Kay, wears a ton of makeup, doesn't wear a stitch of makeup. Like, this is a fun, beautiful, wonderful makeover contest. And you can, not everybody has to have all 6 colors on their eyes. Not everybody has to have a fully dramatic look. I mean, it's what's uniquely them. And so don't prejudge, don't make that list. Okay. So that's where I would start. The other things that I did in starting out, I did nurses appreciation, teachers appreciation. And I think you're back in a place where you can do those things if you're comfortable doing them. There are always women out there to be pampered. I would go into nursing homes and I would just do a pampering appointment, or sometimes even just a station, to collect names and do a free giveaway for the nurses that work in nursing homes, for the nurses that work in other small locations. Usually the hospital was not really a place I would go, but smaller facilities. I would go into schools and do teachers appreciation. Teachers have just gone back. They could all use a little extra pampering right now. And so think about things like that. Think about connections that you have. And then the other thing that I did was facial boxes. You guys, I always had facial boxes out. Some got thrown away. Some were a waste of my time. Others produced customers that I still have to this day. And so, I think it's time to revamp your facial box if you haven't in a little while. Put a scan code on it, put a great picture, put a great giveaway, have that all done in a way that you can just go put up a beautiful frame they can scan it on their phone. Like, it's so much easier now. You don't even have to go back and collect the names, because you just connect it to a Google Doc or something like that and make it so easy for them to register into your drawing and get connected to you. So those are just some of the ideas. I promise there are tons of people out there. You will never run out of people as long as you don't get in the mindset that you are going to run out of people. I promise there are people all around you. Okay, so continuing my journey. So 17 years ago, I said yes to Mary Kay. Yes, do the math. I'm turning 40 this year, and I'm getting to do it in Scotland on the top director trip. See, I grew up with a mom who was an 8-time $1 million director. She was a top sales director. And every year on my birthday, because my birthday happens to be on September 13th, which is also the anniversary of our company. And so they always took sales directors over this Mary Kay's anniversary. And so my mom was in a different country. My mom and dad were in a different country for every birthday that I had. But what it meant to me, I'm sure my mom had some mom guilt for it. But listen, like, the guilt, the little bit of guilt, or maybe a lot of bit of guilt that my mom had for working her business and being gone for times like that. Like, fast forward to what it looks like in my life now. It looks like my husband and I getting to go on an all expense paid trip somewhere different every year for my birthday. I get to celebrate my 40th birthday in Scotland with my husband and my best friends. Like, what could be better than that? I absolutely love how you can work your business and what it produces and what you have the ability to pass on for generations to come. Whether you have a daughter or a future daughter-in-law, maybe, or just, like, that you have what you do now doesn't just make a difference for you and your family right now, but it truly could make a difference for generations to come. And so keep that in mind. You never know whose life, whose dream, whose future is really tied to the commitment, the level of commitment that you are willing to put in right now. Okay. And so, so let's go. I was going to tell you more of my story, but I want to get to these questions. So one of the questions that Maya has for me is what are the daily habits of a car achiever? And so, as you guys are working to earn your first car, and maybe some of you are on target for your car, if so, congratulations. Some of you are car achievers. The specifics are going to be different for each. However, the habits, I would almost guarantee, are very similar. Okay. The habits that I know that Maya has told you about, but sometimes it's different hearing it from someone else. I remember being a new consultant and my mom trying to tell me things. And I will never forget, I listened to a recording from Gloria Mayfield Banks. And I remember coming back to my mom, and I don't remember the subject at all, but let's just say for sake of what I'm about to talk to you about, it was like the IPA sheet. Okay, so my mom is one of the ones that helped create the IPA sheet. Clearly, like she's taught me about the IPA sheet, and I listened to this recording and came home and just had this like, you'll never believe what I got from Gloria Mayfield's Bakes and her CD, and she taught me to do this. And I was like, whatever it takes. So sometimes you just need to hear it from someone else, I suppose. But you guys, it is the basic daily habits of, putting God first, family second, career third. It is doing things like your 6 most important list every single night, that is next to your bedside, and you do not close your eyes before filling that out. It is having an IPA sheet out in front of you and tracking your income producing activities. It's having your weekly plan sheet made out every single week, having your family on board with that, having your goals in front of you. Having your goals in front of you, and not only in front of you, but in front of your family, in front of your customers, in front of your team members, that you guys are working together on something, that you are excited for something big, that you have one focus. And if you're like struggling with that right now, like what is my one focus? Make it this makeover contest, because you know what? If you will make your focus this makeover contest of you getting 50 people, 100 people entered into this makeover contest, everything else will come from that. And I'm going to talk more about that in a minute. But really, you guys, it's if you are working to earn your car, earning in the midst of earning your car, or have earned your car, it is 20 to 25 hours of work a week. And I'm not saying every single week will be like to a T that, but that you be committed to your schedule, that when it goes off course, that you find ways to bring it back. And so what I mean by that is we all know that life happens. Like this week, oh my goodness. Well, obviously, I was in Florida last week. My mom got married. My daughter started school. We got back at 1 a.m. on Monday morning, and she started school on Monday. Like it is a busy, busy week. And so if there are weeks that just look crazy busy for you, and maybe you've only put 10 hours of work in, that you've got to make that up. You can't just write them off. But if you will work from your IPA sheet, I would venture to say that you might even be able to do it in less time, because if you are focused on your IPAs, and honestly, if you are focused on seeing faces and doing parties, like if that is your one thought process, that everything else will come from that. But if you are focused on that activity, look at the IPA sheet, look at what comes from that. I always tell my girls, when you feel overwhelmed by an IPA sheet and how you are going to fill in that many income producing activities in the amount of time that you have, it's generally because you're not doing parties. Because if you're doing parties, you can do it in this amount of time, and all that comes from it, it's insane. Your interviews come from it, your sales come from it, your bookings come from it. Like everything can come from that. It becomes more time consuming if you leave the parties out or push those aside, or if you're not focused on those and you're just trying to do individual IPAs. It takes way more time and feels way more overwhelming. Okay. So my challenge to you is to really focus on that IPA sheet, or whatever tracking sheet that is like that Maya has for you. Like really, really focus on that. But also, when we're talking about daily habits of someone who is a car achiever, it's also being super intentional and protective of what you are putting in up here. It is really being conscious of even the TV shows that you are watching, the people that you are surrounding yourself with, the books that you are reading, like what's going in, because that makes the biggest difference. I know that you've been told before, but like your success in this business is all what's going on up here. We can teach you a script, we can teach you how to book, but really, really, if you're motivated, and excited for what you have, a why, you have a reason, you have clarity for what you're working for, and you are intentional with what you're putting in up here so that what is coming out stays positive, you guys, you can do anything you want in this business. I mean, it is not learning another, you are not lacking skill. I can assure you, you are not lacking skill. And so if there is a moment of hesitation, of pause for like, I need to perfect my class, I need to perfect my script, I need that. No, 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 no. If I said to you right now, I'll give you $1 million to go see 30 faces, what would you do? You'd be excited enough, you'd be clear enough about your why, and you'd go find a way. You wouldn't need all of the details coming from the C personality that needs all the details, but I'm releasing you from it. You don't need you don't need it to be perfect. This business is all about connections. And so one of the things I'm going to kind of transition into the next, because one of the other questions Maya asked me to answer was, what does it look like to build a strong team? And so, you know, you guys have the start of a team, you have a great team, but in continuing to grow that team, what does it look like to have a strong team? Number one, a selling team. You know, make sure that your sales are like rocking, because when your sales are rocking, your team's sales are going to be rocking. So focus on sales, that you're excited, that you're working a goal together, like I just mentioned before. But when you guys are, you're building community with your team, you know, you're building relationships with these women who you are working with, and some are going to be ready right now, some are going to be ready 10 years from now, but you're continuing to build. If I could give any advice right now, just not even knowing where you are in your business exactly, what I would say to Red Jackets is, don't get stuck with just 3. Okay. So we always work our business a third and a third and a third. And so, you know, that means a third of the people on your team right now are probably not doing anything. A third of the people on your team right now are probably just going to place one order a year, one order every now and again. And a third of the people on your team are going to rock and roll and run with you because they're ready right now. Now that is a, you know, simplification of things, and it might not look exactly like that right now, but what that does look like is, if you only have 3 team members, sometimes it can be discouraging because you expect to have 3 team members that are just ready to roll right now. And if that is not where you're at, keep growing, keep building, keep a relationship with these women, keep community with these women, keep your goals in front of them, that you are running as a team, with a team name, with team excitement, with team recognition, with all of that, but you're moving in the right direction, but that you keep building, because a third and a third and a third of 3 is just not probably where you want to be, especially if you're working to earn that car and become a director and move on up, you guys, and to double your numbers. I know that's the goal for your future area, that you are doubling your numbers. And so in order to do that, build that community, stay focused on sales, build relationships with your team, but keep going, keep going. The last question that Maya asked me to answer was, how do you focus on building a customer base and a team? And this is one that, I mean, we go over all the time, because I think, you know, so often we get in this mindset where it's one or the other, and it's just not. It's just not. If you will focus on growing your customer base, if you will focus on faces and parties and being intentional about building relationships, if you are selling the product and you are working full circle, both are going to happen. Some are going to be ready, some are not. Some are going to be, you know, happy to become a consultant and maybe sell to a couple of friends and family, but all the only job that we have as consultants is to share our love for this product, to share the product, and to share our love for this business and what it could do. Leave it up to them, whether they say yes or no. You know, some will, some won't. It is okay. It does not. I used to tell this to my girls all the time. I can remember specifically telling one specific DIQ, you know, just because she says no does not mean you did not do a fabulous interview. You know, just don't get so wrapped up in how you're doing things, or if you're saying everything exactly right. It is sharing the products, sharing the opportunity, and both will happen. You might have one party that's really heavy on just sales and maybe one new team member, and you might have another party where everyone gets excited all at once, and you have 3 new team members. It will even itself out, but you will only see it start to even out once you have the numbers where it can even out. And so what I would say is, focus on your numbers, focus on the amount of people. I even have a tracking sheet for my girls that is called Ask More, Win More. And it is all about focusing on the activity of just asking more. And then from there, if you will focus on asking more, the yeses will come. They will be part of that. I know that the results will happen if there's coaching involved in that. So you focus on asking more, focus on seeing more faces, and just sharing the product, the business, both, and letting them decide what is best for them. And it will happen as it should. All right. And so I think I answered all of the questions that Maya had mentioned. I love that well, I know you guys are on a Zoom call today. You guys are on a Zoom, but feel free to reach out if you have any questions. You've got the best leader in the world helping you, there to hold your hand, there to guide you through anything. Maya is an incredible leader, and I know you know that. I don't have to sing her praises, but man, you guys are blessed with an incredible leader. And so take advantage of that. Plug into her, reach up always. And so if you're feeling stuck, reach up. If you're feeling like you don't know what to do next, reach up. But you guys, you know what to do. If you hear nothing else from what I shared today, you know what to do. Go find an hour to sit down and strategize and plan out what you are going to do to make this your best month in Mary Kay, and then go get to work. An hour's worth of strategic planning can be worth as much as a month worth of work without strategizing. So hear that, like it is important. I'm not saying take a week to strategize. I'm saying take an hour to get really focused and really strategic with what you're going to do, the people you are going to call, the promotions you're going to follow, the track you are going to run on, the script you are going to use, all of that. Figure it out, you guys. You have the tools, you have the support, you have everything you need, and go get it done, you guys. I am super excited for you. I can't wait to meet some of you guys. I mean, connect on Facebook, whatever it is, reach out and ask if you have any questions at all. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of your Zoom meeting today. And I hope you guys have an awesome, awesome August, and awesome rest of your year. And good luck with doubling, not good luck, just I'm praying for you guys to double your numbers. And I know you'll be a big, massive part of that. So congratulations to you for being a part of this call, for being in red, for being a director. And I'll see you soon. Bye, you guys.
Woo! All right, everyone, give me some snaps, give me some claps. Who is pumped up? I told you all she was amazing. Well, I know she is not here live. I would love to hear you guys. I truly believe that God knew that we needed to hear this training today, because we have asked Laura not once, not twice, but this is the third time that we have asked Laura to speak for us. And so I would just love to hear what touched your heart, what resonated with you. So unmute, and I would just love to hear, so that way we can definitely let her know.
Okay, I'll go first.
Woo woo!
I felt her energy, and I liked how she said about, being reminding us about tracking our numbers. But when she said that if you will do the parties, everything else is going to line up. And I mean, I've heard a lot of that before, but it's just like today when I was trying to strategize and write names and make some calls, and I thought to myself then, I thought, this is not working. This isn't working. And then when she said that, just to, you're going to get those no's. You're going to get the, those times that you're not successful in making, 10 calls, maybe get 2 parties or whatever. But, I just liked how she kept encouraging us to continue the journey.
Absolutely. You're so right. It was such a light bulb moment when I listened to this about like, wow, if I'm overwhelmed at my IPAs, if you go to a party, you can get 10 IPAs in one party because you booked, you sold, you did faces. You know what I mean? Like you share the opportunity, right? Like you can get so many IPAs in one party. So thank you for Angela. Thank you so much. Who else was encouraged?
Hey, it's Vicki Highsmith.
Hi, Vicki.
Hey, well, I heard a lot of things that I've heard before, but I think what was confirmation is just to trust the process. You know, one of the things that she said is to create those habits, like the 6 most important things, to do list, and just trusting the process, and then repeat, 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 and make it to where it's easy and duplicatable so that someone else can repeat. And also that things don't have to be cookie cutter. Like I love the fact that she said that she was different from her mom. So, you teach the concepts and then allow them to create their own identity. But the core is that they repeat, trust the process, whatever it is, just continue to do it over and over and over and over again. So I'm encouraged to go back and still continue doing what I'm doing, but just do it more often and more frequently.
Awesome. You're right, Vicky. Sometimes like reminding us that we know the skills is so encouraging, right? Because one of the things that Laura has encouraged me is like, you do the exact same thing as a new consultant to be a star consultant for the first time. You do the exact same thing to become a red jacket. You do the exact same thing to earn your car. You do the exact same thing to become a sales director and earn your Cadillac and do $500,000 and trip. You do parties. And she said, the quicker that you realize that that is really the key to anything that you ever do, and you stop questioning the process, the quicker you will be able to achieve that with less self-doubt and worry. And I was like, oh, that's kind of good, Laura. That's kind of good. So I'm so glad that that encouraged you. Okay, who else was encouraged?
I loved how she said it's going to look different for everyone, and it really does sometimes take hearing it from somebody else that may have just added just one extra detail in it, or emphasized a certain word to make you like, oh, is that what, it's just funny. It really is. And I love that. And the confirmation of that it's not just me. I have to hear it about 10 different ways. And I also loved the different ideas of where to get new leads. And I have been thinking about, because it goes back to Mary Kay and how she went into nursing homes and she taught and did skincare classes with women, in their, in that stage of life. And it's never too late to start, and never, everyone has skin. And so I've been trying to think about ideas, and that just kind of like brought it back into play of like, oh, okay, because I feel stuck, but I also have not printed out my IPA sheet, which is on my 6 most important things to do for tomorrow. So
good. Awesome. And I think, I'd be lying to say if there's not seasons where you feel like, okay, who am I going to talk to next? So like sometimes you're right, hearing a fresh perspective from somebody else just encourages you like, oh yeah, I haven't thought about teacher appreciation or nurses. I've never thought about going into a doctor's office and doing that, but what a great way. Sometimes it just creates another creative juice, right? To make you think a thought of how to get new leads. So I'm glad that encouraged you too. Okay. Anyone else want to share?
Maya, I loved when she talked about the 1/3. 1/3 of the people are working, 1/3 are going to order a couple times a year, and 1/3 are kind of on their way out the door. Because I think that when we lose a team member, it's almost like this knife to the gut, that we feel like it's personal, and it's not. It's just life, and that's how it works, and it's not for everybody. But I think when we hear those numbers, it kind of I don't know, it makes it more that everybody experiences it. Do you know what I mean? That it's not just you, that somebody's leaving you. It's not personal. It's just business.
Yep, absolutely. How many of you have ever changed a job in your life ever? Okay. Yes. And so you're right, to hear that, to know that, to remove the person, like the personal hurt. And even though it does, I'm not gonna lie, like it does, but it doesn't have to affect your dreams. Like it doesn't have to affect your goals for you and your family. So I'm so glad that encouraged you, Sherry. That's so good. Who else would like to share?
So I liked when she was talking about the hues palette, the warm hues palette in that contest. And I already had a few ideas for my unit. So Angie, that's honored those that will watch the replay for some sort of competition next month in contest and prizes and stuff. But I was like, just kind of affirmation, like, oh yeah, this is really good to do. Because I have a few customers who, yes, I did their makeovers like last week, still let them enter into, the competition. I think everyone's doing that, but that really is a good tool. I mean, and it doesn't have to be just the warm hues palette. I don't know if all you know that or not, but it can be any of our glamour products, any eyeshadows. It can be the liquid eyeshadows. It can be whatever. And so it's a great way for consultants to, sharpen their skills with glamour, but also just to get new leads. I mean, everyone, like, who doesn't want a glamour makeover, to try a new lip color, a new eye color? And you can book and get, again, parties, so many faces, so many of your IPAs, so many sales, new team members. And so working that full circle with just a little eyeshadow palette, like, has a lot of power to grow and change your business.
Absolutely. When she said that sometimes you just need one thing to focus on, helps eliminate all the chaos, right? If you have like one road, one track, and if you were to take something like the makeover contest, which gives you a reason to even reach back out to people that maybe you have in the past and they said no, and now that school is in swing and schedules are a little bit more steady, in the sense of not traveling, like, you're right, it gives us all a reason to talk, reach out, meet, create new experiences. So you're absolutely right, Jen. I love that.
Well, and I was just appreciate, because I think even us as sales directors always need the reminder of that it is a very simple process, and Maya, you kind of alluded to that it's the same thing that we do as a new consultant to Red Jacket, that I think sometimes when we see people that are, $1 million sales directors, top of the top, all those things, we're like, oh my gosh, what is the secret? And that her thing of those habits was, again, those basic things, that it's okay, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. It is just doing the things that Mary Kay Ash put into place, or like Laura's mom Bet creating the original IPA chart, that all of those things are designed to help keep this business simple,
Right.
and be able to make it work in regards to all the things that we have going on. And so just that reminder of, it's not some new big secret. It's not some new little trick. Yes, there's a spin, like the makeover contest. That's the spin to get in front of people, but it is just those basic things that we have to remember to continue to do. So like Mary Kay Ash always said, keep it simple, sweetie.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. And I think it's also, while I know sometimes it can be frustrating, I hope it encourages all of us, because all of you know how to do a 6 most important things to do list.
Yep.
All of you know how to do a facial or a party. And to me, I think the biggest thing that I was encouraged by is to release perfecting. Release perfection. So many times we have this expectation that it has to be the perfect interview. It has to be the perfect career chat. It has to be the perfect party. It has to be the perfect live video. And like, perfection will rob you of so many dreams quicker than just the attempt itself. And so when we release perfection, I also believe there's just going to be so much more joy, fun, passion, right? Because it also allows you to just release that off yourself. And it's hard to follow perfect, right? I don't want to follow a perfect leader. I don't want to try, it makes it impossible. And so if I release perfection and I'm present, I think that's how she said it. Okay, I'm not perfect, but I can be present, and people want present, authentic, genuine. Like I said, I hope you guys are all so encouraged that Laura is nothing like her mom. And once again, as we learned about DISC personalities, and Sherry talked about how 70% of women are in that CS category, I knew that Laura getting to come and share, my prayer was just encourage you and lift you up. And so I do have Laura's address if all of you would like to write a thank you card. I don't know if y'all knew this or not, but it is a nice tradition when someone is a guest trainer for you to send a thank you card. So I just think it would mean a lot to Laura or any of our guest speakers. I don't know if y'all noticed that we do try to post our guest speakers and get those out for y'all to just send some thank you or appreciation and everything like that. So Mary, do you have any other closing thoughts?
The one other thing that I wanted to kind of share that Laura mentioned, and I know some of you guys were not part of this conversation, but I thought it was a beautiful tie-in, is just hearing when Laura was talking about what you're doing now and what you do have the ability to be able to pass on to future generations, you know, because hearing Laura, you know, be able to share that, like, she didn't think that Mary Kay was her thing, but the impact that even when it wasn't her thing, that she got from that, and what a difference that made in her life. And that was one of the things that Heidi had shared in our director Facebook group this last week was, you know, on Sunday, there was the competition for her son's band to be able to go to the next level of this contest that they're doing. And just Heidi shared just such an amazing message to us as directors about, you know, what that looked like from the standpoint of growing up Pink and being part of a Mary Kay family. Because not only is Heidi's son in that situation, but another one of the band members, his mom has been involved. I don't remember if she's a consultant or how she's involved with things, but, you know, both of them just immediately, like, the positivity and the affirmations and just, you know, the goal setting and all of those things, that you really don't know the impact that what you're doing now will have on future generations, you know. And we were kind of sharing from the aspect of, you know, like, Heidi's boys are older, my kids are older, and, you know, even being able to see what that is going to look like for Jennifer and Maya and Emily and, you know, any of you guys with young kids or grandkids or any of those things, to see how that can impact those generations and then the lives that they touch, you know, as they're growing up and the impact that they're going to have. I mean, it is literally changing the world. And I remember when Linda was, you know, starting her business, that she kind of came to that realization that, you know, as a teacher, you know, she hoped that she could change a kid's life in her classroom. But she realized that through Mary Kay, if she changed the mom's life, how much of a difference that would make, you know, it would make such more impact down the road than just changing that one kid's life. And so I just think that reminder is, you know, not to have a burden on our shoulders by any means or any pressure of that, but just that ability that we get to do that and we get to bless people and, you know, have that opportunity to give what we have to others, and just what a difference that can make. And so I just loved that Heidi had shared that message, and then Laura just kind of reiterated it, because I think it is something I think we kind of forget. Like, we think, oh, it's just lipstick and, you know, a makeover contest and things, but just truly the impact that can have. When, I mean, we cannot even begin to know the impact that what we do today, how that will impact generations to come. So
I have chills. Anyone else have chills? Well, just like Laura said, y'all, there are still 13 days. There is still time in the rest of this month to make things happen, you guys. And so I want to encourage you to really step it up. Y'all, we are at the beginning of our seminar year, and instead of saying, oh, it's too busy or school just started, make a choice to step up. And I'm going to like step on your toes, y'all. We need our leaders to rise up. When we build, we need our leaders to rise. I encourage you to post, to share, to reach out to your sales director, reach out to your team, invite them, make sure they're on training, make sure they're participating at events, make sure they're participating in bingo, y'all. Like, let's make this happen. Support your sales director, support the functions that are happening. You guys, we can make August the best August our Mary Kay family has seen. And so I would encourage you to ask your sales director, what do I need to do? What do I need to do in order to make this August kickstart even stronger, even better? You guys, we make each other better. And so when one of us win, we all win. And let's hold each other accountable. And I know that it will just be a great way for us to honor Laura. So like I said, we'll get her address out. So if any of you feel led to send a thank you note, you totally can. But thank you guys for being here. Thank you for making this a priority. Remember, the Dayton Chimes have changed to the third Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So let's rock it out. Let's see some new Reds this month. Join us on September 15th, y'all. And may God bless you. May his face shine upon you. May joy fill your home and your heart and your head, your courage, your business, your offices, your kitchens, your cars, your works, wherever you go. Okay, so we'll see you guys all next month. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.